Hi, and welcome to Perpetual Fitness Training. My name is Holly. Thank you so much for joining me for your yoga today. Today in yoga, we're going to be working on the core. So all the poses and flows are meant to make that core stronger. It's important to have a strong core. It's not just about flat abs, but making that core stronger will help the entire body, top to bottom, because when that core is weak, it can lead to dysfunctions in the spine, which spread throughout the entire body. So working on your tummy and your back are very important. So I hope you join me today. Really, all you need is potentially a block, maybe a strap. Those are things that I think you should always have nearby. If you don't have anything that's specifically a yoga block or a yoga strap, that's okay. You know, the belt of a robe or just a belt works for a strap, and a block can be anything like a real big book or anything, a little stool, something like that. It's really just an extension of the hand. So don't feel like you have to run out and buy a yoga block or you can't do it. That's not the case at all. All right, make sure you have something soft to do this yoga in, a nice quiet place. I want you to play some nice quiet music or whatever yoga music inspires you. Maybe get some aromatherapy going, some candles, low light, whatever you need to do to relax. These next few minutes are all about you. You get to leave everything else out the door. So please join me. All right, thank you for joining me. I just finished a really tough cardio session. And one of my favorite things to do after cardio is to do some yoga because I'm really warm throughout the entire body. Muscles, joints, everything feels good. I can get deeper into the poses and it just seems to be easier for me. I don't feel quite so stiff, especially the older I get, the longer it takes me to warm up and not feel stiff. So go ahead and if you're wearing socks or shoes, go ahead and take those off, set them to the side. Some people do like to wear yoga socks and they have little grippies on the bottom. That's perfectly fine. Listen to your body. Traditional socks generally I don't recommend because you can slip and it does make yoga a little harder. So if you can take your socks off, please do. Let's go ahead and start in a seated cross-legged position. This is called easy pose, but I want you to sit in whatever pose works for you. It's about the knees and how you feel. So if this is just too much for you, feel free to move into a position that makes you comfortable, that feels good. Let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Lift your heart, roll your shoulders, close your eyes. Relax the wrists over the knees. Maybe you want to take that first finger and thumb touching. Maybe you want to take those palms up, maybe dropping them toward the floor. Let's start to focus on the breath. Take a nice big inhale, really draw in the air to the belly. Exhale, use the belly and the diaphragm to push that air out. Again, deep inhale. On this exhale, I want you to make an audible sound as you relax those shoulders. Again, deep inhale. Big, loud exhale. One more time, big inhale. Exhale. Just feel those shoulders melt. Go back to your traditional breath or regular breathing pattern. Deep inhale. As you're exhaling, think about relaxing all the muscles through the face. You're releasing the tension from the forehead, relaxing the little crinkles around the eyes. Release the jaw. Just let everything go. It'll be there when you get back. You get to take this time just for you. It's good for the mind. It's good for the body to just take a little break. Press pause on your day and get a little relaxation in. As you're inhaling, you're thinking about pulling in as much air as you can. As you're exhaling, you're letting the mind relax, not letting it wander. Focus on that breath. And just slowly feel your body relaxing. Your back, your abs, your glutes, the hips, the thighs, all that tension leaving the body. Let's go ahead and hold onto those knees. I want you to round your back and lean back. Tummy's tight. Tuck your chin, shoulders relax. inhale, we're going to lift that heart up. Rise tall, shoulders down, space between your chin and chest. And again, exhale, round, lean back. Relax the shoulders, tuck your chin. One more time, inhale up nice and tall. Exhale, tucking around and really lean back. Think about dropping the shoulders, leaning back, pushing that spine out, pulling that belly in tight. And if you'd like to, feel free to just kind of rock side to side, just loosening through that spine. And let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Now we're going to do the opposite movement. We're going to take the chest toward the floor. I want this a nice flat back. When you feel the pull, hold. You may feel the pull through the hips. It may be through the low back. Keep that tummy tight. And now just slowly start to rock side to side. So as we move to the right, we're pushing the left hip. As we move to the left, we're pressing that right hip. Let's go ahead and start to make it bigger. Making sure you're pushing that opposite hip away. The bigger you get, the more you need to press that hip away. You should be feeling this through that low back. Should feel good. All right, we're going to go ahead and take it over that right side. So take those hands, take the chest first to the right, reach those hands out, drop that chest, let the head hang. I want you to walk the left fingers forward and relax down, keeping that belly tight. Make sure you're still breathing. And let's go ahead and move to the center and then slowly toward that other side. Reaching out, dropping the chest, let the head drop. Reach those right fingers out. Really feel that stretch down the right side. This is my tight side, so I really feel this stretch. Make sure you're pressing that right hip away. And gently coming back to the center. See how low you can come down. You can round the back. Just let that head drop and hold. All right, let's go ahead and slowly come up. Now you can rock and come on up onto all fours, or just undo those legs and come on up onto all fours. Whatever works for you. We want to be in tabletop with those wrists right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips. Curl your toes. Let's just take our first downward dog, hips up, and press that chest in. Jog those heels. Relax those shoulders. And go ahead and see about pressing both heels toward the mat. Bend the knee and just press your chest in. Feeling the stretch. Nice and gentle. Curl those toes. Come on back down onto those knees. Let's push those hips back. We're just going to stretch through the feet for a moment. This feels really good for me today. I was up on a ladder all day yesterday, up and down, up and down. And so my arches and my toes are sore today. Coming back to the center, tummy tight. Let's lift. Maybe you can get a little straighter. Maybe you're still jogging, bending the knees, pressing the chest in. Whatever feels good. Let's go ahead and take it down. This time, tops of the knees to the mat. Tops of the feet to the mat. We're going to lift the knees off the mat. You're feeling the stretch through the top of the foot. So go as high as you can. Maybe you're just barely off and you're really feeling that stretch. Maybe you can come up higher. And let's go ahead and take those knees down. I want you to sit back in child's pose. So glutes toward the heels, let that upper body just drape over those legs. Head relaxes. If this bothers your knees, placing a block between the thigh and the calf will help relieve the pressure, and it helps you to relax into this pose. And let's inhale up, tabletop. Toes curl, give me a good downward dog. Breathe, press through the palms of your hands, not your fingers. Push your chest in toward those thighs, shoulder blades away from the ears.
I want you to press that tailbone to the ceiling, elongating those legs. Press the heels down. And let's go ahead and come on down onto those knees. We're going to take the right foot forward in between those hands. Bring it forward toward the front. Sink those hips. And now I want you to take this left knee and just walk it back. So you're getting this hip flexor stretch. And when you sink down, this knee and ankle are staying stacked. So that knee is not going forward of those toes. You're in a great safe position for the knee. You'll know you're safe if you can pull up those toes. If you can't pull up those toes, it generally means this is your position, and this is not a good position to be in for that knee, right here. Let's go ahead and drag that right leg back. We're going to place it with the left. And sink down. Shoulders relax. Maybe take that belly to the inside. Maybe you're walking this right knee back a little bit. Breathe. Let's go ahead and curl that back toe. We're pushing off, coming on up into a forward fold. Let's take those hips up. Just let your head drop down. You're looking at those legs, the knees, rounding the back, tummy's tight. Your hands are anchored, so either floor, body, or block. Let's go ahead and bend those knees. Hands come up to the thighs. I want you to round your back as you slowly come up. And at the top, just roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a nice big inhale. Use those arms. Round the spine. Pull that belly in nice and tight. Slowly come down, coming back into that forward fold. Allowing your body to just round. Feel like your upper body's being pulled toward the floor. Those hands are anchored. Body, block, or floor. So if you need to, use that block under the hands. Let's go ahead and step back with that right foot. Runner's lunge. Big step back. Big step. Let's drop those hips down. Shoulders relax. Of course, you can drop that knee down if you need to. Both hands can come to the inside if you would like, or keep them on the outside. You can also take your hands up to your thighs. Lots of options here. I like to take mine to the inside so that I can drop my hips lower. Inhale, let's go ahead and take it up, round your back, leg is straight. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Leg doesn't have to be straight, that's just your goal. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, up. And exhale, lower and hold. Sitting back in that right heel. Let's drop that right knee, drag that left foot back. Moving into tabletop. Toes curl, downward dog. Press that chest in, shoulders away. Hold. Let's go ahead and come up to your tippy toes as high as you can. Exhale, press your heels. Inhale, up. Exhale, press. Last time, inhale, up. Exhale and press. Let's go ahead and take those knees down. Right foot forward in between those hands. Extend that left back. Shoulders relaxed, belly is tight. Really drop in the hips, pushing that chest out. Push off with that back foot. Move on up into a forward fold position. Legs are straight. We want to stretch out those hamstrings. So keep the legs straight, not bending the knees. Hands can be body, block, or floor. Bending your knees. Let those hands drop or hands to your thighs. Slowly roll up at the top, shoulder roll. Inhale, arms reach up. Rounding once again, come on down. All the way into that forward fold. Stepping back with that left this time. Big step, hips drop. Remember, you can modify if that works better for you. Maybe both hands to the inside. All right, lift the hips. Inhale, up. Trying to straighten that front leg. Exhale, lower. Shoulders drop, flatten your back. Inhale, up. Exhale, lower. Last time, inhale, up. Exhale, lower and hold. Taking that left knee down, drive that right foot back, tabletop. Toes curl, downward dog. Shoulder blades away from the ears, push your chest and let your heels fall. Wide fingers. Let's go ahead and come on down to those knees, left foot forward. Extending that right leg back. Runner's lunge, hips drop, shoulders relax, tummies tight. Just feel that stretch. Focusing on that breath. Pushing off, forward fold. Crown drops, belly's tight. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Tuck your tailbone at the top, exhale to your heart. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start our flow. I'm gonna move my block back up here so that I can demonstrate. We will be using the block for some of these, especially if you have a hard time touching the floor, you'll definitely want that block in front of you. Feet hip width, little tiny bend to the knee, tuck your tailbone, tummy tight, lift your heart, roll your shoulders up, back and down. I want those palms forward, or they can be toward the body, space between your chin and chest. You have a big Texas grapefruit underneath that chin. Closing those eyes. Focus on that breathing. You're feeling the air go in, moving to the very bottom of the lung. You're using the belly and diaphragm to push that air back out, nice and controlled and slow. Letting go of any outside distractions or stress. Relaxing the face. Take a nice big inhale, arms reach all the way up. I want you to swan dive and come on down into forward fold. You're going to come up halfway, flat back looking forward. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Stepping back, right foot, runner's lunge. Let the hips drop. I want you to feel that stretch. Come on back into plank. Full or modified. Tummy's tight, big inhale. On the exhale, the elbows graze the ribs as you drop the chest. Inhale, up dog or cobra. If you're in cobra, right, we're not lifting with those hands. Let the strength of the back do the work. And exhale back, downward dog. Nice wide fingers, heels drop, feet together in the center, reaching back with that right. Both hip bones point to the floor, left heel's trying to touch the mat. You can stay here or just open up the hip to the side, separating those right toes. And let's go ahead and sweep this right leg forward. And we're going to take that back foot and turn it on its side so you have warrior feet. Heel and arch are lined up, standing on the same line. We're going to take the right hand to the inside. It can also be on a block. It can also be on your thigh. You're going to open up. Maybe we're just keeping the left hand on the hip because you're really working on that rotation. Maybe this is your good side and you can just open right up with that hand coming directly out of the shoulder, reaching up toward the ceiling. Those shoulder blades are down. The hips are not lifting. We're bending, we're sinking. Maybe you need to widen that stance a little bit. Let's go ahead and take it down. Rotate on that back toe, push off. Forward fold, hips up. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale up, reach. Reaching out, swan dive. Coming up halfway, inhale. Exhale all the way down. Stepping back left, big step. Let your hips drop. Come on back into a plank, finding your plank. Big inhale, exhale, elbows tight, dropping the heart. Inhale up, lifting the heart, pressing the hips down, whether you're in up dog or cobra. And when you're ready, take it back, downward dog. Feet together, reaching back left. Stay here, open up the hips, separate the toes. Right heel trying to find the mat, pressing that chest in. Let's go ahead and take this left foot in between your hands. Back foot turns, lining up, heel and arch. Sink. Block if you need it. Left hand to the inside or to the thigh. Let's rotate that right shoulder back, reaching the arms up, not letting those hips come up. Drop it down. Shoulders relaxed. Pull those blades together. Try to gaze up at the ceiling, but to the side or to the floor is easier for the balance. Breathe. And let's go ahead and drop it. Pressing off with that back foot, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. Exhale to your heart. All right, we're gonna add on, make it a little more difficult. Inhale, up, reaching out, swan dive. Coming up halfway, inhale. Exhale down. Stepping back right. Let those hips fall, shoulders drop. Coming back into plank, find your plank. Big inhale, exhale down. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Up dog, your knees are off the floor. Everybody dropping the hips down, looking forward. Exhale, back downward dog. Feet together, reaching back right. Maybe open, maybe heel to the glute, point the knee up to the ceiling, press that chest in on the palms of the hands. Breathe. Right foot in between those hands. Back foot turns. We're taking that right hand to the inside. Left reaches up. Think about dropping those hips. I'm going to widen my stance a little bit to really get those hips to come down. Your gaze can be down at the floor. It can be up. All right, now we're going to try to straighten up this right leg. Breathe. Do what you can. Maybe this is where you move to a block, or maybe you move up to that shin. Bend into that front knee. Take that hand down, push off, forward fold. Right, we're gonna add chair here. You can stay in forward fold or bend those knees, chest to your thighs, hands back. Let's go ahead and lift, bringing the arms straight out, shoulders down, sinking in those heels. Lift your heart, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Inhale up, baby back bend. Palms together, exhale to your heart. Left side, inhale up, reach. Reaching out, swan dive. Coming up halfway. Belly's tight, exhale all the way down. Stepping back left, hips drop. Coming back into plank. Big inhale, exhale, flow. Inhale, up dog or cobra, shoulders down. Take it back, downward dog. Feet together, reaching back left. And maybe open, maybe heel in, pointing the knee at the ceiling till you feel the lower rib cage. If it bothers your hip, go back a step or two. Let's go ahead and take this left foot in between your hands. Back foot turns, lining up, sink low. Legs wide if you need it. Let's go ahead and take that left arm in, rotate, open up through that right side, pull back on that right shoulder, breathe. All right, if you can, let's go ahead and straighten that front leg. Breathe. Come on, deep breaths. Keep it in control. And let's go ahead and take it down, runner's lunge, pushing off, forward fold, hips up. Inhale, reverse swan dive, come on up. Exhale to your heart, shoulders down. Adding on, inhale, reach. Exhale, swan dive. Halfway, all the way down. Stepping back right. Let those hips drop. Come on back into plank. Maybe you want to take a leg up this time. Big inhale, exhale, elbows tight. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back, downward dog. Keep that belly in. Feet together, reaching back right. Open. Heel in. The last one is just to keep dropping the right foot toward the left side until you feel the pull higher through the rib cage. Shoulders down and you're pressing your chest in. Right foot in between those hands. Back foot turn, sink low, hand to the inside, right hand in. Open up, left arm to the ceiling, hips drop, hold, breathe. Let's go ahead and extend that front leg. Now you can stay here or moving into balancing half moon. Use a block if you can't touch the floor. You're going to keep this open position. You're going to transfer the weight to that front foot. You're going to open up, bring that left hip parallel to the floor. Left arm toward the ceiling, right arm toward the floor. It is a big balance move. If it gets you in the hip, so this is getting my right hip a little bit, then all you do is step back a pose, right? Do what you can, breathe. When you're ready, return back into that runner's lunge. Push off, forward fold. Oh, my right hip did not like that one today. Sink your hips, stay back, hands back. Inhale up, chest, shoulders down. Sometimes the poses that you can do every day, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So listen to your body. I obviously need to stretch my hips a little bit more. A little more, breathe. Inhale up, back bend. Palms together, exhale to your heart. Last time, inhale. Reaching out, swan dive. Halfway up. All the way down. Step back with that left. Let those hips fall. Coming back into plank. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale back. Left reaches back. Open, healing. Little twist. Shoulders down, pressing your chest in. Left foot between your hands. Right foot turns, sinking. Widen the legs if you need to. Left hand to the inside. Let's go ahead and open up, reaching that right arm. Gaze up if you can. Hips drop and hold. Straightening that front leg. Breathe. Slow that breath. All right, moving up into this half moon. So pushing off, opening up the side, maybe a block, maybe you can reach to the floor. You're opening up the right hip, maybe the right hand's on the right hip, maybe the gaze stays on the floor, maybe it goes to the side. Taking your gaze off the floor is definitely harder. Hold. Soft left knee. And when you're ready, ooh, come on back down. Yeah, got my hip on that side too. Shake it out if you need to. Back into forward fold. Bend your knees, hands back by those hips. Inhale up, chair, sink down, shoulders relax, lift your heart. Breathe. So sometimes those half moons aren't pretty. Just do what you can. You can say they weren't working for me today. That's all right. I did the best I could. That's all that counts. Inhale up, little back bend. Palms together to the heart. And go ahead and release. With yoga, sometimes you just gotta laugh at yourself. There are days when you just can't balance, or maybe your hips aren't open. It is what it is. But today, thank heaven we're not doing any more hips. We're gonna work on that core. All right, so let's go ahead and start in that mountain pose at the front of your mat. I want you to close your eyes, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Lift your heart. A little tuck to the tailbone, belly tight, soft knees. Make sure those toes are pointing forward and you're gripping the mat with those toes. Here's where we need to bring that heart rate down. So nice big inhale, just a small pause, and then slow as you can, exhale that air out. Pull the air into the belly. Be a belly breather here. Exhale. One more time, deep inhale. Little pause, exhale. Just feel that stress melting away. Taking another moment here. Just feel that body relax. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're gonna swan dive, coming back into forward fold. Now again, if you cannot touch the floor, you can do a block. So we're gonna move into a warrior three. And to do that, the first thing we're gonna do is step back with that right foot. It's gonna keep that left foot in front. You're gonna sink down. The first move is up into crescent. So hands back by the hips, tummy's tight. You're gonna lift your heart. Woo, and then your arms, shoulder blades down. This may be a very funny session for me today, with as bad as my balance has been. Lift your heart, shoulders down. You have that space. You're leaning back into that back leg. So we're in a nice crescent. Now to move forward into warrior three, you're gonna bring the chest down to the thigh. You're gonna transfer the weight to the front leg, and then you're just gonna kick everything out. Arms reach out, leg reaches back. If it bothers your low back to have your arms above your head, you can take them back in airplane. Please watch this right hip. It will try to open up. I want you to keep both hip bones pointed at the floor. You're squeezing the right glute to lift that leg. Maybe this is a little easier if you have the hand on the block or on a chair. That's fine. Listen to your body. And when you're ready, come on down, back into crescent. Shoulders down. Leaning back, hands to your heart, all the way down, push off, forward fold. Let the crown drop. One more breath, big inhale. Exhale, let's go ahead and step back with the left. Sink those hips, tummy's tight, hands back. Lift your heart and your arms. I'm actually glad I'm having kind of an off day for y'all. So you can see, it happens. It's no big deal. You just keep going on. Keep fighting. Shoulders down. Lean back, belly tight, space between your chin and chest. All right, leaning down. Kicking back. Bring that left foot up. Maybe the hands are back by the hips. Maybe they're over your head. You have a nice, soft right knee. You're squeezing that left glute, lifting both hip bones pointing to the floor. Maybe your hands are on the chair. Hold and breathe. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed. No expression through the face. Come on back down. Back into crescent. That was much better. Hands to your heart, all the way down. Take that left knee down, drag that right foot back. Let's go ahead and sit back in child. So glute towards the heels, let that head drop, draping that upper body. Release the tension, relax the shoulders. Hands can be back by the arches to help release the shoulders. Inhale up, moving into tabletop. Drop your belly, look up, big inhale. Exhale, pull your belly button in really tight, round your back, mad cat. Inhale, drop, look up. Exhale, tuck. Inhale. And exhale. Hopefully you're feeling that release through the low back. And back to the center. Moving on to our next core work, we're going to come up into a plank position. So from tabletop, all you do is curl those toes, and you can go one leg at a time or both at the same time. We're going to do a plank with a knee to the chest. So from plank, belly's tight. Let's go ahead and just take that right knee into the chest. You're going to round, come up on the left toes, and really pull that knee in. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Keep pulling. 4. Inhale and exhale. Come back into plank, drop it down, sinking back child's, release it. Maybe roll out those wrists. And inhale up. Modification is just to hold plank on the forearms if holding it on the wrist is too much.
because coming down to the forearms and trying to bring that knee into the chest, it's just difficult. It can be hard to do. So just hold plank instead. All right, we got to do that other leg. Let's go ahead and take it up into plank, tummy tight. Tuck that tailbone slightly. You just don't want those hips to lift up high, right? You want to try to be at a slope from the head down to the feet. All right, let's go ahead and bring that left knee in. As you draw it in, you're rounding. Tummy's tight, really pull it in. Begin the breath. Two more deep breaths. There's 4. Inhale, exhale. And plank, down, relax it back. Roll the wrists. And inhale up, back into tabletop. All right, we're going to do a side plank with the option of moving into a side plank star, which is just bringing that leg up. So I'll explain. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to one side. I prefer to do side plank on my forearm. It's just a lot on my wrist. So I'm just going to give my elbow a little extra padding. So I'm going to go ahead and start on my right side. I'm going to take my elbow under my shoulder. If you're doing full, the wrist is under the shoulder. Okay, that's the only difference. It's just wrist under the shoulder. If you're down here, it's elbow under the shoulder. You're going to extend that top leg and just rotate open to the side. Now, this back foot, if you're going to stay down on your knee, just comes behind you and you're going to open to the side. I prefer at this position to take both legs up, and you can either stack those legs and hold to move into star. You're bringing that top leg up. Not a good day to do this one when my balance is off. So if your balance is off, maybe keep both legs down or restart. I want you to hold and breathe. One more inhale, exhale, and gently in control, take it down. Sitting back, child. Release it. You need to roll the wrists. Gently take it up. All right, let's see if this left side is any better for me today. My left side has seemed to be better. Elbow underneath the shoulder. Go ahead and take it either knee down side plank or extending both. Bringing that right arm up, lifting this left hip. And then foot up, 5 breaths. One more breath. And take it down in control. Back down. Oh yeah, that was much better. And extend it back. Inhale, gently coming up. We're moving on to extended puppy. So what you're going to do is start in tabletop. Just walk those hands out. And this is a release for the back. Press the chest in. Let that head drop down. Pull your belly in nice and tight. There's the belly work. Push that chest down. Let your head drop. If you can get your actual chest to touch the mat, it's going to be a chin down. If that bothers your neck, as it does mine, just keep your forehead down and just keep pushing that chest. One more breath. And gently bring it up, coming back into tabletop. All right, we're going to move into a plank with a five breath arm reach, right, break, left. Okay. Modification, do this on the forearms. You can also just keep both hands down, maybe into a modified plank if you need to. Again, it's about that core, so just holding plank is plenty. All right, here we go. Tummy tight, curling those toes, just lift up, coming into plank. Tuck your toe in slightly, tummy tight. I want you to press back through the heels. Tighten those kneecaps. Pull the belly in. Press the floor away. All right, there's a good plank. You can hold it here or take one arm out. And hand down, sink those knees, slowly come back. Rolling the wrists. Inhale up. All right, time for that other side. Curl those toes, come on up. Press the heels, tighten the knees, tailbone tuck, belly tight, press the floor away. All right, maybe the left, breathe. 5 sets of breath. And hands down, take it down, sitting back. Release. And inhale up, walking the hands out, drop the bellies down. Ooh, all the way down. And hold. All right, we're gonna move into grasshopper or locust pose. This is one for the low back. So hands back like an airplane. I want you to lift your heart, reach those arms, lift those legs so that you're just trying to let this core center touch your hip bones and your belly button. And now squeeze those blades together, lift your heart. You're still keeping that neck in line, so you're not looking up once you're looking at the floor. Shoulder blades down, and you're working to pull them together to get height, to lift higher and higher. Now hold and breathe. Reach. Separate those toes. One more time, big inhale. Big exhale. Drop it down, rest on one side of the cheek, let the shoulders drop in. All right, head center. We're gonna do that one more time. Reach those arms, lift that chest. Maybe this is all you do. Maybe this is where you stay. This is great. Maybe you can take those legs off, maybe a little higher. Press those arms back, squeeze the blades, and breathe. Keep that neck in line. One more time. And take it down, coming onto the other cheek. Let those shoulders round forward. Relax through those hips and up and lower back. Hold. Bring that head back to center, hands on either side of the chest, tummy tight, lift and counter pose. Slowly take it back into child's, releasing down.
Inhale and gently come back up. If you still feel really tight through that low back, you can run through some cat and cow. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next. We're going to do a dolphin plank. So down to the forearms. Hands, not a dolphin plank, excuse me, just dolphin. This is a forearm plank, is also called dolphin plank, but we're going to come down to the forearms. And this is basically just a downward dog on your forearms, right? Let the head drop, so I want you to look in between, relaxing the neck. Curl those toes under. Take those hips up, and now press your chest between those arms. Feel those shoulders working. Maybe they're tight and you're feeling that stretch. Maybe they're just fatiguing or you're just feeling them work. Keep the palms pressed, and then you start to walk those toes in. You're keeping the tummy tight. I want you really to be up on those toes, trying to keep that back nice and flat. Maybe you want to lift a leg in dolphin. You can alternate between the legs. Keep that belly really tight. Hold. And go ahead and drop those knees. And I just want you to sit back again, child. We're going to do that one more time. Let's take a nice big inhale. Come on up. Now that you have the feel of the pose, see if you can go a little deeper. Curl those toes, hips up. Press that chest in, tummy tight. Start walking those feet, keeping that back nice and flat. Maybe taking a leg up, separating those toes, alternating legs. Maybe you're just working on keeping up on the toes, belly's tight. Work that core. Take it down, sitting back. Release. Feel the release. Just breathe. Inhale up, moving into tabletop. I want you to drop your belly, look up, big inhale. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, drop. Exhale, tuck and round. Oh, last time, big inhale. All right, give me a nice, big, round back. Back to the center. We're gonna go ahead and come on down to our glutes. So however you would like to do that. We're gonna move into a boat pose. This is a great core strengthener. One of my favorite yoga strengthened poses. Lift your heart. You're gonna hold on to the back of your legs and just lean back. Now you can lean back until the arms are straight or mostly straight. That's going to depend on the abs. When you lean back, you're feeling that core engage. Pull your belly in. It's a slight tuck to that tailbone, but not so much that you round your back. The idea is that you're keeping this nice flat back with that tummy tight and really engaging the transverse abdominis by tucking that tailbone slightly. You can stay right here or release the hands or a leg. Make sure if you're releasing one leg that you alternate, or maybe you want to release both. Maybe you want to go all the way into V-sit, but we're going to have to hold it for 5 breaths, so choose wisely, lift your heart. Maybe you're in V-sit for a few breaths and come out of it when you need to. I'm going to stay in this pose just so that I can talk. Lift your heart, shoulders down, breathe. Deep breaths, 2 more. 1 more. And when you're ready, feet down, grab the shins, lift up, look up, exhale, tuck and round. Oh. Inhale, up. Exhale, tuck. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. Sit up nice and tall, lift your heart, shoulders down. Lean back, feel that core, tuck that tailbone slightly, always lifting with the heart, maybe reaching those arms out. Maybe the legs come off, maybe you go straight. We're gonna twist and hold. This we're gonna hold for 3 breaths. Lift your heart. Coming back to the center, maybe you need to readjust, shoulders down, tummy tight. Not pointing those toes, hopefully I wasn't. You're pointing out, you're kind of pushing through the pad of your foot. Lift up and then switch to that other side. Lift your heart, shoulders down. to the center. Lift up, feet down. Lift and round. And hold here. And now we're just going to slowly march ourselves down. We're going to come into bridge. And we're going to hold bridge. This is for that low back. You're going to walk the heels as close to the glutes as you can. Hands on either side. Tuck that tailbone one vertebrae at a time. We're going to lift up and we're going to come all the way up until the weight is on our shoulders. Space between your chin and chest. Feel that nice, comfortable position on that upper body. Lifting through the hips, tummy's tight. I want you to hold. Pressing through the heels. Use the core to try to float those hips even higher and hold. Breathe. Big breaths. You'll feel that low back. Fill up that belly. 2 more deep breaths. Lift a little higher last time. And now you're going to slowly start at the top. Imprint each vertebrae into that mat. In control all the way down to the tailbone. Push that tailbone. It'll kind of arch that low back. Come back to the center, knees to the chest. Oh, pull it in. Shoulders drop, abs in. You can rock side to side. Just release that stretch. And then drop that low back. And I want you to go side to side on your low back. And now little circles. This should feel good, helping to release any tight muscles through that low back. Other direction. All right, our last pose before our Shavasana is fish pose. So let's go ahead and take those legs out straight. You're going to roll to one side. Tuck the arm underneath. Roll to the other side. Tuck the arm underneath. Palms are pressed flat into the mat. Extend those legs straight if you can, flexing the feet, reaching out through the heels. You're going to squeeze your blades and lift your heart. And when you're here, readjust and really get those elbows underneath the body. Let the head fall back. You're going to slowly drop down, but you're not placing any pressure on your head. Your head is hovering. You're lifting up through the heart. Think about arching through the back, keeping that tummy tight, and hold. 5 breaths. And then bring that head up. Inhale, exhale, in control. Slowly come on back down. And then you can release those hands, maybe shake them out. One more time. Knees into the chest. If you want to pop up into happy baby, feel free to do that. Or if this is comfortable, just right here. Shoulders relax. All right, let's go ahead and take those legs down. Stretch them out. Relax the hips. We're moving into final relaxation or Shavasana. If you would like something to place over those eyes, or maybe grab a sweater, or to hear some socks because you're chilled, go ahead and grab what you need. You can also place a blanket over the body. I know some, they even place a pillow underneath their head. It's all about getting comfortable. You've worked hard. You need to take the time to rest. It's very important to keep those balanced. And yoga is a great way to not only do that, but then to really understand, because when you truly do Shavasana, you really do feel that complete relaxation, and it just completely shifts your mind and how you're thinking about your day. Let's go ahead and start with those hands next to the body, palms up. You can use those heels to kind of straighten out that spine, relax those hips, shoulders down. Let's start to take deeper breaths. And as we exhale, we're relaxing the face muscles, releasing the expression, relaxing all the crinkles, releasing the jaw. Just feel that tongue fall back. Relax through the entire head and scalp. I want you to feel that relaxation move down into the neck. As you exhale, you're just feeling the stress leave the body. Relaxing the shoulders, the biceps and triceps, the elbows, your forearms, the fingers are curling in naturally. The arm is like lead, just heavy into the mat. As you exhale, relax through the chest, the abs, glutes, hips. Let those legs be natural, just opening through the hip joint. The thighs, the kneecaps, they're all just relaxed. Relaxing down through the shins and calves, the ankles. And finally exhale out through the feet. As you remain relaxed, I want you to feel as if your body's just sinking deeper into warm sand. All the sand filling the contours, supporting you so that you can relax even deeper. I want you to stay in Shavasana as long as you would like, focusing on that breath. Slow the breathing, relax and quiet the mind. Namaste.